I don't buy bread at the store anymore, and this recipe is exactly why. Today, we're making an amazing zucchini bread that's soft, nutty, and full of good ingredients. Before we start, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and tap the like button if you enjoy simple recipes like this. Let's start by adding 200 grams of almond flour into a large bowl. This flour makes the bread naturally gluten-free and gives it such a rich, delicate taste. To bring a warm aroma, I add half a teaspoon of nutmeg, and for a gentle sweetness, I sprinkle in half a teaspoon of sweetener. Feel free to use any sweetener you prefer. Sometimes I go with coconut sugar, and it works perfectly. Now I mix all these dry ingredients until they look smooth and even. Time to make it even more special. I'm adding 50 grams of coconut flakes. They'll give the bread a beautiful texture and a light coconut note. Let's move on to the eggs. I crack 3 fresh eggs into another bowl. Using a whisk, I beat them well until the mixture is smooth and pale. Then I pour in a quarter cup of good olive oil. This helps keep the bread moist for days. And here comes one of my favorite parts, a whole lemon. I grate the zest right into the eggs. It adds such a bright, fresh touch that makes every slice feel like summer. Before we continue, tell me, do you often bake bread at home? Or is this your first time trying a zucchini bread recipe? By the way, where are you watching from today? I love hearing about all the places you call home. Let me know in the comments below. I always read every message you share. And if you'd like to try this recipe with something different, you can easily swap the zucchini for grated carrots or even shredded pumpkin. Both of these make the bread moist and naturally sweet. Sometimes I also use finely chopped apples for a softer, more delicate flavor. It's a great way to experiment with seasonal produce and keep things interesting in your kitchen. If you'd like to support me, hit the thanks button under this video. I truly appreciate it so much. I'm melting 60 grams of butter until it's smooth and warm, then pouring it gently into the egg mixture. This step makes the bread richer in flavor and keeps it soft for days. If you like, you can replace butter with coconut oil for a dairy-free version. It tastes wonderful too. Next, I slowly add all the wet ingredients into the bowl with the almond flour and coconut. As I mix, the dough starts to come together beautifully. It should feel thick, but not stiff. If it looks too dry, you can add a tablespoon of milk or even a little yogurt to loosen it. Sometimes I do that when the eggs are smaller, and it always works out. The texture should be easy to stir with a spoon and look smooth with little pieces of coconut showing here and there. Time to prepare the zucchini. I'm taking 1 medium zucchini and grating it on a coarse grater. Look how fresh and juicy it is. Zucchini is perfect for baking because it keeps everything moist without adding much fat. After grating, I transfer it into a clean bowl. I sprinkle a little salt on top and leave it for about 10 minutes to help release extra liquid. This step is so important. If you skip it, the bread can turn out heavy in the middle. While we wait, I'd love to know, have you ever tried adding vegetables to your baking? It's such a clever way to get extra nutrients and keep the texture soft. My kids sometimes don't even notice there's zucchini inside. And if you want to try something different, you could also use grated carrots or pumpkin. Both are delicious and bring a little natural sweetness. After the zucchini has rested, I squeeze out all the juice with my hands until it feels light and dry. Don't be afraid to really press it. This makes all the difference. Now, I add the zucchini straight into the dough and mix everything thoroughly, so all the ingredients blend together evenly. The smell already feels like home. If you're enjoying this recipe, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who loves baking. Your support means so much to me. Now our dough is finally ready, and it looks so smooth and rich. I take a baking dish and brush it carefully with a little bit of olive oil to keep the bread from sticking. You can also line it with parchment paper if you prefer an easier cleanup later. I spoon the dough into the dish slowly, making sure to press it lightly so it fills every corner. I like to smooth the top with the back of a spoon, just to give it a nice, even surface. This helps it bake more evenly and look beautiful when you slice it. If you want to get creative, you can even sprinkle a few extra coconut flakes on top. Now I'm taking 30 grams of chopped walnuts and scattering them over the dough. They will toast in the oven and add a wonderful crunch and nutty flavor. Sometimes I use a mix of walnuts and pumpkin seeds, especially if I have some left over in the pantry. It's a simple way to add texture and make the bread look special. Before baking, I always take a moment to check if the oven is fully preheated to 180 degrees Celsius or 350 degrees Fahrenheit. That steady heat makes all the difference for a nice golden crust. Now I carefully place the dish in the oven and set the timer for 45 to 50 minutes. While the bread is baking, the smell starts filling the kitchen, and it feels so cozy. It always reminds me of weekends when my husband and kids come into the kitchen asking what's cooking. This bread never lasts long in our house. Everyone wants a slice while it's still warm. If you've never tried baking zucchini bread before, you'll be surprised how easy it is. And if you like, you can swap the walnuts for almonds, sunflower seeds, or leave the nuts out completely for a simpler version. There's really no way to get this recipe wrong. All you need is a little patience and some good ingredients, and you'll have a beautiful homemade loaf to enjoy. While the bread is baking, let's finish making our fresh salad. I start by grating 1 carrot. Its bright orange color always makes any dish feel cheerful. Then I take a few leaves of young cabbage and slice them into pieces that are not too fine. I like keeping a little crunch because it feels more satisfying with soft bread. Next, I add 2 tablespoons of green peas. They give a sweet, gentle flavor and make the salad look pretty on the plate. To bring everything together, I drizzle in 2 tablespoons of good olive oil. If you like, you can also add a teaspoon of lemon juice or apple cider vinegar for a little extra tang. I sprinkle in a pinch of salt and a generous dash of Italian herbs. The herbs really make this salad smell fresh and inviting. Sometimes I even toss in a little chopped dill or parsley, especially if I have fresh herbs in the fridge. Now I mix everything well so all the vegetables are nicely coated with the dressing. By this time, the zucchini bread should be almost ready. When you open the oven, the smell is just incredible. Warm, a little nutty, and so comforting. Carefully take the bread out and let it cool for about 10 minutes. This helps it set inside so it slices more neatly. When you cut the first slice, you'll see how moist and tender it is, with little bits of zucchini and toasted walnuts on top. It tastes wonderful just as it is, but sometimes I like to spread a little soft cheese or butter while it's still warm. This recipe is so simple, and it always feels special when you serve it to family or friends. If you try it, let me know how it turned out for you in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more easy, wholesome recipes you can make anytime. Enjoy your meal and have a beautiful day wherever you are. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I hope this recipe inspires you to try something new in your kitchen. Remember, homemade food doesn't have to be complicated. It just needs a little love and good ingredients. If you enjoyed baking this zucchini bread with me, please consider subscribing and tapping the bell icon so you never miss a recipe. And if you'd like to support my channel, you can always click the thanks button below the video. Tell me in the comments, what's your favorite homemade bread or cake? I'd love to hear your ideas and maybe try them myself. Have a wonderful day and I can't wait to see you again in the next video.